Hi, lovelies. I hope that you're having a beautiful weekend. So, I wanted to give you a quick update. I definitely think that the techniques that I'm using are working. So, essentially, what I've been doing is getting really clear on my ideal life partner and then thinking about how I can become that life partner. And I've been listening to a lot of manifestations, both guided meditations and other, and just trying to get some of them involve a little bit more thinking, and some of them are just listening to music. But I've just been trying to listen to all the best resources available and going to events. So I've been trying to dress nicely every day, go to a coffee shop at the same time every day, and find some recurring events. And it's funny because yesterday there was a digital nomad party for nomads in Split, and I caught myself being kind of judgy. I mean, I don't know if I want to hang out with those people. They're kind of weird. And then I remembered, hey, this is an event I'm invited to. I should say yes. And I know people, actually, my cousin once had a year of yes, and so many amazing things happened to her life. And I just thought, this is insane that I'm trying to find a partner and I would just be at home alone instead of going to this party. And so I went and I actually met a really great guy, and we're going to go out tomorrow. And then I have been I've been connecting with a lot of guys on Tinder, and I mean, of course, meeting really cool people at the coffee shops. I also went to an art gallery holiday party. It's such a good time of year for getting out there. I mentioned an old friend reached out who's newly single. So there's definitely a lot of movement happening. And so I just wanted to share with you some of the resources that I've put together. I put together a bunch of playlists on the True Love Show channel. And if you're also curious about going down this pathway of looking for love, then I would suggest that you listen to them. I mean, they've definitely just also put me in a good mood as well, because I think a lot of them are geared towards feeling more love and fullness. And I've definitely been making amazing connections because I'm trying to connect with I want to have some women on the show who found love in their 40s, because I feel like surrounding myself with women like this, I'll start matching their energy and their vibration and their mindset. And I think surrounding yourself with the people who you want to have a similar life to is a really good approach. I'm in education in my other project, and I just think that modeling is so valuable in so many ways. Okay, so this is what I put together for you. Where I would start out with, I've been listening to these. Let's see. Okay, so we have so many different things here. This is the music only manifesting love. I think if you're just doing some work on your computer, or you're going about cleaning up your house or something, these can be good to listen to, or before bed when you get up in the morning. I tried to put videos here. Collected this one I'm kind of working through. I think this is the place that I would start if I were you. This manifesting a life partner playlist. It has, I think I got 67
This
different
meditation will
things
change.
here, different manifestations. I mean, they have such a huge range. Some of them are quite silly. You have these kind of, and then, there's one that starts out, beware, this is very powerful. Don't do it while you're driving. And only do it if you really want to attract a soulmate. Otherwise, beware. So that can be kind of funny, but actually is a pretty good one. And then this one by Pure Raza, I just loved. I thought it was so beautiful. And there was another one that when I started listening to it, I didn't love it that much, but I decided I was gonna, I'm trying to change my energy, so I would stick with it. And that ended up being a really good one to me. So I'm working through these. And then as I do it, I'm
This
actually trying to pick
meditation
out the ones that I
will
like the best.
change your
So we have manifesting a life partner. And then if you want to see the ones that I liked the
for the
best
next
so
30
far, I
days.
have this other playlist,
You will
Great
find more of
Manifestations.
a reflection of
And
love
oops,
in
let
your
me just,
life
I think that the
from
music is
everyone
still on. So I'm going to try to pause that one for
It
you.
is
I don't
recommended
know how
that
to
you
stop
use
it.
headphones
Okay, so you can
when
kind of hear it
listening
a
to
little
this
bit in the
meditation,
background. And
and
then
that you either
we
sit
have these
down
guided
or lay down.
manifestations on here. This is
Hi,
one of
and
my
welcome.
favorites of all times. This guy named Carlos has this gorgeous voice. So that's kind of, if you just want to start by feeling more love for yourself, It's just such a beautiful one. So great manifestations, these are my favorites so far. And then some of the manifestations, I noticed you're supposed to do it every single day for 21 days. And it's almost like a hypnosis or something. And so I've been adding that to this do this for X number of days manifestations. So as I was saying, there are some manifestations that really ask you to think about the qualities of the partner, to visualize the partner. And I find that when I go in that space, they'll say something like, you're seeing him on a hill and he's coming towards you, etc. It feels a little bit forced to me. And so I really like the ones that are more affirmations. There was one that I just really, really liked a lot. Let's see.
If you were to go over to my YouTube
Yeah,
channel
it's called
right
Powerful Love Affirmations for Singles to Attract Soulmates. And she just gives you a phrase, you repeat it. She repeats it again. She gives you another phrase, you repeat it again.
There comes
I just thought when I saw this background of the universe, I just thought it was so incredibly cheesy. But then I started going into it and repeating them, and I really felt a lot of power. And that was the one I did before I met the guy at the party. And I was just really doing this while I was cleaning the kitchen, going to the bathroom, sweeping the floor. But I feel like it's a pretty simple, low effort way to get started and
if
feeling
you were
that
to go
love
over to my
vibration.
YouTube channel
Okay.
right now,
Stop
type in
talking. Oh my gosh.
manifesting
It's really
love
hard.
Erin to
Hold
my
it. Sorry, I'm getting the technology working here. So we have manifestations, great manifestations. And then I started focusing on what am I looking for in a partner? And so I had a whole one about advice for that. Becoming the ideal partner, become an ideal partner, and getting clear on the ideal partner. So that's one I really liked a lot, getting clear on the ideal partner. There's just a lot of really good tips here. This is a video that only got 28 views. I loved it. It just had a lot of really great tips for high performing women because I think that the dating situation, if you are successful, if you are a go getter, it can be maybe you might be needing to go after a different type of person or go after them in a different way than if you were kind of just maybe a 9 to 5er going about your business. And I don't know that there's so much content on dating for high performing women. One of the reasons that I started this show is because I feel like women are often told that they can't find a partner because they're too needy. And when you feel completely full and you've perfected yourself in every way and developed every characteristic you want in a mate in yourself, then you'll find someone and just naturally, like they're just going to ride up to your door on a horse. And I feel like that's really disempowering for women. There was a book that really influenced me called Make Your Move by John Berger. And he talks a lot about the subtle ways that women are actually making the first move in dating. And it is something, women are told that they have power over every single other aspect of their life, that they can get a career, that they can start their own businesses, that they can make a great family life, but we're told that we have no power over dating. And I think that's wrong, that we do have power over dating and we can be as strategic about it. Men are allowed to be strategic about it. So why can't we? And yeah, so part of that is just figuring out, getting clear on the ideal partner. That's kind of where I started. And then that leads into the manifestations because a lot of the manifestations are going to ask you to list those qualities. And then once you become clear on what you're looking for in a partner, I made 2 playlists here about becoming the ideal partner. I think I'm going to combine these. And that was a really useful one for me to just identify areas in my life that where I can improve, and not just to attract a partner, but I think that there's another reason for this, which is that I think my heart and brain are signaling to me there's something missing in your life. And it's not and the fact that okay, how do I explain this? So I'm having a feeling of longing a partner. And when I think about those characteristics that I long for in a partner, I realize certain aspects of my life that feel a little bit incomplete. And I can start cultivating that fullness now in my life while simultaneously wanting a partner. So it serves 2 purposes, making my present life, getting me in touch with those things I'd like to bring into my present life more today, and then also getting clear on who I want to bring as a partner, as both 2 and the same thing. So we have that. the daily meditations, if you just want to listen to music, I think these music-only manifestings are really powerful. They can help you feel calm. I also made a separate category of ones that are to listen to right before you go to sleep. I do believe when you're falling asleep, it definitely impacts your subconscious mind. One of the most impactful things I've ever done in my dating life was see a amazing hypnotist in San Francisco, Sandra Anders, and I saw her before I had my first long-term boyfriend ever. She's just amazing, and so I feel like this whole idea of hypnosis, especially if you're a woman that tends to overthink things like me, it's just really helpful to have that kind of hypnosis affirmations thing. So you're not overthinking, you're just bringing yourself into a different psychology. And yeah, so those are the main ones. And then I have also a couple other ones just to get you all in the groove. Love songs. I've picked some of my favorites. I just love Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder. I have some beautiful love poems I've collected here. And these love poems are really about feeling full and happy in love, as opposed to songs about longing for love. And these love poems are my favorite poems by Rumi and Shakespeare, and they're just read by some of my famous actors that I love. Just beautiful to listen to. I've also created a collection of prayers for a husband in different religious traditions, Christian, Muslim, and I think even Sufi, Jewish. So those are something that you can take a look at as well. And the next area I want to move into as I start dating, because I've been texting with a guy that I met, I realized I already have that anxiety coming up over early dating. I get really nervous around texting and pauses between text messages, and I feel like I can almost become a crazy person where if I don't hear from someone for an hour, I start to assume they don't like me. And I become someone that I don't even recognize, so immature, so anxious. And texting is a big area for that. So as I move from looking for dates to starting to date people with this intention of a long-term relationship, of a loving partnership, of a marriage, an area I want to focus on is finding calm in the texting and the getting to know you period, and having the confidence to really get to know someone as opposed to just kind of closing my eyes and hoping it works out. So yeah, I hope that some of those resources are useful to you. As I said, I suggest you start out with the Getting Clear on the Ideal Partner playlist, and then move on to the Manifesting a Life Partner playlist. Choose the ones that you like best, or you can start with my favorites. And then for those in-between periods, music only, or if you find you're just not resonating with the manifestations, you can just skip straight to music. I hope these resources are helpful for you. If you have any that you want to suggest I add, please do let me know in the comments or send me a message through the Substack. And I just hope this is supportive to you. And I'm just really excited. I'm happy that there's movement happening and that this is starting to bring in some of the results I want. I mean, part of my curiosity here is just how to shift my reality, especially in the romantic world. That's been a bit of a challenge for me, but it's exciting to see that some of these techniques are working, and I really hope that they work for you too. And if you're tuning in, if you're looking for love, however you're feeling today, just send my love to you, and greatly appreciate you being here and listening. And have a lovely day or rest of your weekend, depending on when you're listening to this now.